Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed will lead the Sultanate delegation participating in the meeting of the GCC leaders and USA due to be held in Washington. Sunday, 17th of May, is to be an official leave for the employees of the public and private sector on the occasion of Isra wal Mi'raj. Efforts are continued to re-operate water desalination plant in Sohar. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received a cable of thanks from His Excellency President Macky Sall of Senegal in reply to a cable of greetings sent by His Majesty the Sultan on the occasion of his country's National Day. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, will lead the Sultanate delegation participating in the meeting of their Majesties and Highnesses, the leaders of Gulf Cooperation Council countries and the United States of America, due to be held in the U.S. Capitol on 13th and 14th of May. To discuss the latest developments on the regional and international arenas and the efforts to restore peace and stability. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed will be accompanied by an official delegation comprising His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masoud Al Sinaidi, Minister of Commerce and Industry, His Excellency Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Futaisi, Minister of Transport and Communications, Her Excellency Hunaina bin Sultan Al Mughayriya, Sultanate's Ambassador accredited to the United States of America, and a number of officials from the government. His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court and Chairman of the Civil Service Council, issued a decision declaring that Sunday, the 20th of Rajab 1436 Hijri, corresponding with 17 of May 2015, is an official leave for the employees of the ministries, public authorities and administrative apparatus on the occasion of Isra wal Mi'raj. His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser Al Bakri, Minister of Manpower, issued a decision declaring Sunday 20th of Rajab 1436 Hijra, corresponding with 17th of May 2015, as an official leave for the employees of private sector on the occasion of Isra wal Mi'raj. The work shall be resumed on Monday, this 18th of May. Public Authority for Water and Electricity stressed in a statement today that the efforts is continued to re-operate the desalination plant in the Wilaya of Sohar with its full production capacity of about 150,000 cubic meters per day. After it has operated two of its boilers with its full production capacity estimated of about 300 cubic meters per hour. However, the work is continued to operate the third boilers despite of some technical difficulties facing the plant owned by the company. The authority urged upon all residents and citizens to cooperate and to rationalize the water consumption. With an investment worth 24 million Omani Riyals, His Excellency Yahya bin Saeed bin Abdullah Al Jabri, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Special Economic Zone Authority of Duqm, SIZD, signed an agreement for the utilization of the land with the Saipak Oman company. The agreement enables the company to establish a factory in SIZD for acid production that is extracted from castor oil and used in chemical, plastic and medicine industry. The project will be established on a land with an area of 400,000 square meters with local and foreign investments. It is considered the first of its kind in the Middle East, and it will provide 450 job opportunities in its first stage. It is expected that the second stage of the project will start during the upcoming 5 years with investment amounted to $250 million. The Public Authority for Civil Defense and Ambulance in the Governorate of North Al-Batina confirmed that it was able to control a fire in one of the entertainment halls of the Sohar University. 6 people were slightly injured and they were taken to the hospitals for treatment. The authorities stated that they are investigating the cause of the fire. The establishment projects of companies during the morning period affected the traffic movement in Amirat Road, where a 7 kilometers distance takes 2 hours to cross. The traffic movement on the road linking the wilaya of Amirat to the wilayas of Matrah and Bosher was also affected. A number of trucks were closed and led to a lot of difficulties on the road. Some citizens expressed that due to the traffic jam, they are always late to work. They called on bodies concerned to come up with proper solutions for the traffic movement in the area. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. The Royal Oman Police Service Centre buildings in the governorates of North and South Al-Batina reduce the stress on services in the wilayas of Sohar and Rustaq. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Yemen's rebels and their allies in the country's splintered armed forces said today they would accept a 5-day humanitarian ceasefire to allow aid to reach civilians after more than a month of daily Arab-led airstrikes. The ceasefire, scheduled to begin Tuesday, would help ease the suffering of civilians in the country who increasingly lack food, fuel and medicine since the bombing campaign began on March 26. Meanwhile, witnesses said warplanes from the Arab-led coalition bombed the residence of Yemen's former president, Ali Abdullah Saleh, following a night of intensive strikes against rebel positions. Rebels, including Al-Qaeda loyalists, stormed the complex in northwestern Syria today, where some 250 government loyalists have been trapped for 2 weeks. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said rebels had entered the hospital complex in the town of Jisr al-Shughur, the rest of which they captured a fortnight ago. According to the observatory director, among the 250 people holed up inside are around 150 regime troops, including high-ranking officers, as well as their family members and some civil servants. Determining principles of solving disputes topped workshop topics which discussed workers' problems and how to solve them. The 4-day workshop aimed to provide the participants with knowledge and necessary skills to solve disputes in the working environment. His Excellency Hamid bin Khamis Al-Amri, Undersecretary of the Ministry of Manpower for Working Affairs, presided over the ceremony. The workshop is a good opportunity to exchange experiences between the experts and the participants. Activities of the Sultanate participation in Tehran International Fair Book continued until 16th of this month. The Art Center in Tehran witnessed an art fine exhibition and Omani-Iranian musical evening. The book fair witnessed the participation of a number of Omani intellectuals, publishers and authors to introduce Omani civilization to the people of Iran. The Omani evening included musical pieces, manuscripts and fashion exhibition. It also witnessed a wide attendance from Iranians and Arabs who expressed that such evening reflects Omani civilization. Oman sailing team on the boat Musandam that is supported by the Ministry of Tourism was able to break the record of sailing around Ireland. The boat crossed the distance in 40 hours, 51 minutes and 57 seconds. The boat started sailing from France, heading to south of Dublin, the capital of Ireland, carrying the three Omani sailors Sami Ash-Shukeli, Yasser Al-Rahbi and Fahad Al-Hsani. The Omani sailors expressed that despite the weather condition, rough winds and waves, they were able to break the record. It is considered another Omani achievement in this field that will be approved by the World Sailing Speeds Record Council. The conclusion ceremony of the second edition of Holy Quran competition was organized in the Wilaya of Bahla to encourage citizens to learn and memorize Holy Quran. His Eminence Sheikh Ahmed bin Hamad Al-Khalili, a Grand Mufti of the Sultanate, presided over the ceremony where he gave a speech about the importance of following the scriptures of Holy Quran. Women in the governorate of South Al-Batina complained the delay of completing the Omani's Women's Association building construction, which were planned to be finished 1 year ago. These associations complained about the slow implementation of the construction and stoppages of work, which cost them lots of money in renting current premises. Expanding police services in various governorates of the Sultanate is the aim of Royal Oman Police ROP. The ROP services center buildings in both the governorates of North and South Al-Batina facilitated the services provided to the citizens as well as reduced the stress on services administrations in the wilayas of Sohar and Rustaq. The services centers serves the individuals in the fields of traffic, passports, residence and civil status. They also include qualified cadres and the latest technologies and communications. The citizens expressed that through these centers can complete their transactions easily. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed will lead the Sultanate delegation participating in the meeting of GCC leaders and USA due to be held in Washington. Sunday, 17th of May, is to be an official leave for the employees of the public and private sector on the occasion of Isra wal Mi'raj. Efforts are continuing to re-operate water desalination plant in Sohar. With that, we come to an end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the studio and the newsroom, it's good night.